What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of days since I posted anything. Actually, it's probably been closer to like a week and a half, maybe two. Just been going through the motions of life recently. Just, been hit with some bad luck, some things that were a little discouraging, and so progress has slowed down a little bit on the cars, but figured I have some work to do and may as well show you guys what I'm doing and bring you along on this little mini project that I'm doing to make some extra cash for myself so I can get the TSX sedan out of the impound lot. A little backstory on that: I have two TSXs. I have a 2012 TSX wagon, and I had a 2010 TSX sedan in white. The wagon is mine. It's what I daily drove every day to work. The sedan was also mine, but it's what my girlfriend drove. She was in the process of purchasing it from me. But sadly, about a month ago, I think it was a month exactly, she wrecked it. I don't know what the hell she was doing. She said that some drunk driver had she said that someone had cut her off while speeding on the highway, doing like 70 or 80, but I don't know, the damage doesn't really it doesn't match up to the story, so that's neither here nor there. That part doesn't really matter. What does matter is that the car is in the impound lot and I have to spend roughly $1,000 to get it out. So this video, I have these avid 20 wheels. Can't really see the full wheel, but I've got these avid 20 wheels. They're 18 by 8.5. They were on the sedan that she drove. Now that it's wrecked, obviously I took them off. There's quite a bit of curb rash. I mean, each one of these spokes protrudes out from the face or the lip of the wheel about 1.5 inches, maybe close to 2 inches. So these little spokes are what hit before anything else, and pretty much every one of them has some rash on it. So what I'm doing is I'm going through, smoothing it, cleaning it up a little bit, and then we're gonna primer these bad boys and either repaint them like a gunmetal gray or silver, or we're gonna do like a bronze, maybe like the like some of the Subarus, like the blue Subarus with like the gold or bronze wheels. Maybe we'll do something like that. But in this video, I am going to go through the process of sanding down each wheel, prepping them for paint. Right now, let's jump into sanding these bad boys down and getting them nice and smooth and ready to be primered and painted. So I'm gonna hop into a time lapse because I know you guys don't want to watch me sand forever, and we'll get this done. Alright, so, whoops. As you guys can see, I have got this wheel nice and sanded down. So from this point, we're gonna go ahead and start this last wheel. This is the last, but also the worst of them. So I imagine that this one is gonna take quite a while. So I think from this point forward, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the last two wheels up. I mean, I don't really have to do much to this one other than just sand it and get it prepped for paint, but that one will need a little bit of refinishing. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and finish these wheels, just get them done, knocked out and taken care of, and then when we come back, they'll be all done and ready for primer. Once we put them in primer, we'll let that dry. I'll build it up a little bit so I can go ahead and sand everything smooth, and we can make sure that all the defects are taken out of the spoke of the wheel, and then we'll pick our color. still leaning towards like a gunmetal. I think that would be a really cool color, like a gunmetal gray, gunmetal silver, maybe something with a little bit of flake in it. But I do want to keep this somewhat cheap, so we'll see what we can find at the auto paint store. If there's something that's close to what I'm wanting, relatively cheap, we'll grab that, and then a couple of cans of 2K clear. Do want these to look nice. I don't want it to look just like your average cheap AutoZone rattle can. So we'll pick our color, and then we'll hit it with some 2K clear, get these bad boys ready to be sold. So that was one of those really bad gouges that I was showing you guys earlier. So was that. And so was that. I think I started on the worst ones already. That one's not too bad. Neither is that one. The actual lip of this wheel needs some love along this edge right there. But other than that, each one of these spokes is just gonna get a little bit of touch up. This one right here is kind of unfortunate. As you can see, it's got some got some that goes down to the side, and whatever that is just peeled off. I don't know if that's paint or what, but we'll get it smoothened out. Looking fresh like the rest of them. So I'm just gonna keep sanding. This one I'm getting really close on. Those nicks are just a little too big. I'm gonna get them down a little closer, and then start working on the next ones. Alright guys, so as you can see, I went through this lip and got most of those gouges out. The rest of it looks pretty decent. There's a little bit of it right here that I'll clean up before we go ahead and spray it, but once I sand that down a little bit, it'll clean up nicely, and then the high build will do the rest of it. So let's get this wheel sanded and masked off, and then we'll paint it. Well, as you guys know, nothing's ever easy. So I overlooked this, and I'm kind of stupid for it, but oops, sorry. As you guys can see, like right here, there is a good amount of curb rash going all down that side. So felt like this was a good chance to show you guys up close what I do to fix this. So gonna go ahead and set the camera up. Set it right about there. Prop this wheel up a little bit so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. There we go. We'll get this guy set up like so. And then let's see. There we go. So as you guys can see, we're fixed up on that lip. What I do, this is not the best way to do this. I'm sure there are way better ways to do this, but I take a wire brush, or a wire wheel on my drill, and I just kind of run over this whole section and try and smooth it out as much as I can, and then from there I run over it with some 320 sandpaper to really even it up. So let's go ahead and start it. Okay, so now you can see it's not 100% better, but it is all kind of somewhat flat. And from this point, we'll take 320 grit sandpaper and take a little piece and we'll fold it. And we'll start by reshaping our edge. So we'll take this edge right here and we'll start shaping it again. And this is a pretty long process, so right here for just this spot, I will sort of, we'll do like a time lapse, we'll just speed it up, but it's really important to get this inside edge worked out and smooth because it really does make your wheel look nice and crisp on the edges. So there you can see with just a few passes of the sandpaper, it's already starting to smoothen out and the design's starting to go away a little bit. So we'll hit it with a time lapse and get back once it's looking good. All right, guys, so we got this wheel sanded down and prepped, ready to be masked off and taped. That one over there still needs to be sanded down. I did completely get this wheel out here fully prepped, taped off, and sprayed. This was one of the guys that had the worst of the road rash on the lip. As you can see right there, I still wasn't able to get all of that out, but I think overall it looks a million times better. So from that point, we're just gonna do the same thing to the rest of the wheels. I went pretty thick with the high build primer on that wheel, so we'll go ahead and wet sand it for a little bit tomorrow and see if we can get it to look any smoother. But if it doesn't, oh well, it is not the end of the world. I think that it will still look all right at the end of the day. And I think whoever purchases them will be happy. So we're gonna go ahead and put it on a time lapse and get these two wheels done. This one again is just getting scuffed up and taped off to be sprayed. This one we gotta tape off and spray it. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it, but down there on the wagon, I've got the fourth wheel on the back right there. I was using it as a spare because my other one popped. So, gonna pull that fourth one off of the wagon. We'll get that one prepped and painted, ready to go. And then we should have a set of wheels that is ready to be painted the final color. Stop by AutoZone. They only had like one can of each color of their wheel paint, so I'm going to stop at a different location. Whatever color has multiple cans at this point is the color I'm gonna choose. So it could end up being gunmetal gray, it could end up being like a bronze, it could end up being gold. Those are like three of the colors that they ended up having, but I guess we'll just see. I don't think that it's really gonna matter what color we paint them as long as they're fresh looking for whoever buys them. So let's get back in there. All right, so I'm spraying the wheel right now. Usually what I do is I hold the can 8 to 10 inches and small sprays back and forth, trying to get a light coat, but get it somewhat even. And I just kind of do that all the way around the wheel. Inside angles, centers, that angle. So, let's see if you guys can see the process a little better. I apologize if the camera's a little shaky, but all right, so I just went ahead and touched up each wheel. I used the rest of the gold paint that I had, tried to get it as even as possible. So from this point, now we're actually going to go ahead and get this clear on there. So we'll let it dry for 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and we'll lay our first coat. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so as you guys just saw, I went ahead and put a couple layers of clear coat on each wheel. They're looking really nice now. I am super pumped on the way that they turned out. So we'll let these bad boys dry for a couple of hours, and then we'll go ahead and take the paper and the tape off, and we'll take a look at our final product. And then after they have dried, a couple hours after that, I'll go ahead and mount them on the wagon. I've got some errands that I need to run, so I want matching wheels because I do have a flat currently. So we'll put the gold wheels on the wagon, we'll get a couple of pictures of them, and then we'll get them posted on Marketplace for the lucky person that is going to be buying these. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. This video was really just a tutorial on how to refinish a set of wheels and do a color change. If you're not wanting to change the color and you're wanting to do the same color, you can follow the same exact steps, except when you go to choose your color for the paint, just make sure that you know what color the wheels were beforehand. But yeah, if you guys have curb rash, anything like that, chewed up spokes, just anything that's not really looking too clean, it's really not too hard to refinish these things and get them looking right. It took me 3 days. I sanded everything down, I primed it, I wet sanded it just to make sure everything was nice and smooth, and then we shot it in color, and here we are. I'm super excited with the way that they turned out. I'm happy and pumped. So yeah, that's I think that's gonna be it for this video. Quick little update on the CRX if anybody was interested. We are still waiting on some suspension parts for the rear. It's getting a new rear caliper, a new rear rotor, camber kit, control arm, and subframe brace. The CTR, still in really good shape. Sorry, I don't know why I just said that. CTR is still in the same spot that we were in currently before. We're still waiting on a header. I still need power steering, AC, and I still need to get a speed sensor. And I also found out that the clutch slave is bad. So that is another thing that we'll be replacing, is the clutch slave, or the clutch master, I'm sorry. The clutch master cylinder is bad. So we'll be replacing the clutch master cylinder. We'll be replacing the slave cylinder. We will be adding the AC and power steering brackets, and we will be doing a header, and then that car should run, and it'll be running in stock form. So stay tuned for that. If you're excited to see anything about the Civic Type R, we're at 27 subscribers, so 73 more, and I will do a $100 giveaway. It could be anything from, say, like an RBC manifold, or I've got a couple of P28 ECUs laying around. I can send someone $100 cash. I have got some B-Series VTEC valve covers. We got some K-Series valve covers. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff in the garage that we could do something cool with and do as a giveaway, or, you know, we can just give somebody $100. But if you guys like what you guys see, please, please, please like, subscribe, you know, leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? Should I paint any of these other wheels? Should we do another series? I don't know, we've got some white CTR wheels or some white 2CK1s, got some track Rs. There's a few different options. We could paint another set of wheels, or we could just leave them alone and get back onto them. The main amount of work that needs to be done for these two cars. But like I said, you know, if you guys like this type of content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. Let me know what kind of content you guys are wanting to see. I am trying to get these cars ready to go to the drag strip. The CTR we're going to want to take to Hallett Raceway, so you know, there's going to be a ton of racing content coming up soon. But for now, I think this is gonna be it. I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Goals.
I am super happy with the way this little project turned out. If you guys like this type of content, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more, because I will be doing more. Thank you.